We walk hand in hand, we dream together. We giggle and laugh like kids forever. We're two different people, but we're having fun. We talk about anything under the sun. We are sisters, we are friends. We've got magic that never ends. I got you, sis, you got me, the best of friends we'll always, always be. We always have fun being together. You know me the best, we're friends forever. Through good times and bad, I'm here for you, sis. Right by your side, hit or miss. We are sisters, we are friends. Got magic that never ends. I got you, sis, you got me. The best of friends, the best of friends, the best of friends we'll always, always be. We are sisters, we are sisters.
Good morning mga sis at sa iyo rin sis. What is in store for us today?
Well, today is going to be a touching and inspiring morning for all of us. Dahil makakasama po natin ang dalawang matapang at matibay at kahangahangang mga babae. At syempre, isang ina na mag-share sa atin ng istorya ng kanilang buhay.
Dalawang magkaibang kwento na siguradong aantig at makakapunan natin ng lesson or mga tips. Mukhang kailangan tayong
makakahingi tayo ng strength, kumbaga.
mapagkukunan natin ng strength, may matututo po tayo sa kanila.
Oo naman, dalawang kwento magbibigay ng hindi lang po ng inspirasyon pero ng aral din po. Yan ang hatid namin sa inyo ngayong araw na to. At kaya po sinasabi namin, warning na po yan, medyo magtabi na po kayo ng tissue sa tabi niyo, mukhang kakailanganin niyo ito. Pero lahat po yan ay mapapanood nyo dito lang sa
Sis!
We are sisters.
Last year po, na-discover niya na may breast cancer pala siya. And now, cleared na siya. Pero, may possibility pa rin na muli itong magbalik. What's in store for Miss Maritoni Fernandez ngayong year 2002? Welcome to Sis Antonita!
Hi, Jel!
Kamusta
Gusto talaga,
na?
one of the rare friends that I have na talagang Antonita.
Oo nga eh. Kasi kung hindi nyo alam, si Maritoni was a good friend.
friend
Long
from way back.
Oo, from my disco days.
Na!
Oo nga eh. Eto, let's start. Did it ever cross your mind that you would go through something like this?
No way. Never. I mean, I think at our age, no, Jess, parang that's the last thing you think of. Cancer you think of is for old people. Right? I mean, that's really the way I thought. Parang, sure, alam ko na, I heard of cancer, pero most of the people na naririnig ko, yung mga matatandang, they've lived their life already. No
Pero
way.
Ikaw, at least, how old are you?
I'm 32.
32. Imagine at 32. So yung mga nanonood ho, kahit na 27 lang kayo, 28, you never know. Hindi nyo po alam. At saka kahit na one checkup, it doesn't always come out eh.
No, it doesn't.
O, so ito, when did you find out? Paano mo nalaman?
Okay, 2 years ago, I found a small lump on my right breast.
Dito.
Oo, dito sa ilalim.
Ano yun, naramdaman mo lang? Or
Di ba
you
pag
were-
naliligo
or
ka,
pag
di
naliligo
ba?
ka, tinest
Yeah,
mo
I
talaga.
always check.
Kasi meron pong paraan para mag-check
Yeah.
eh. Oh, so,
Yun, I was in the shower, I was feeling, sabi ko parang may matigas na bukol. Maliit na maliit lang.
Iba siya sa, di ba, usually bago ka magkaroon, medyo may tenderness, merong mga matitigas na parts ng breast.
Oo.
So, this was totally different from
Actually, it's very similar eh.
Ah,
It's very
malapit.
similar. Kaya nung nagpunta ako sa OB-GYN ko at pina-check ko sa kanya, sabi niya, the first thing she said, ay hindi, magme-mens ka lang.
Oo.
Hintayin na lang natin after your period, ganyan, we'll check it again.
Tsaka may check.
Yeah.
So, nagkaroon ka.
It was still there. And the whole time, I was telling her, let's check it na, ganyan. Sabi niya, alam mo, you're too young to get that. Sabi niya
Doktor
ganun.
na nagsasabi
Oo,
niya na.
you're too young. Imposible. Ganyan ang...
Sabi sa'yo.
Yeah. And then last March, last January, my mom got very sick. Labas-pasok siya ng Makati Med. Ang diniagnose sa kanya, pulmonary embolism. So, nung nasa Makati Med siya, ako yung panganay sa amin, Jel. So, ako yung nagbabantay kay mami. she was there and parang feeling ko, andun pa rin yung lump. Alam mo, total mommy's confined in Makati Med, nasa baba lang yung doktor ko. Pache-check ko na nga, dito na rin lang ako. Quezon City, bahay ko eh. So parang to make a trip just for this is such a hassle.
Big deal kasi matraffic.
Yun na nga. So I figured, alam mo, nandito na rin lang ako, hit 2 birds with 1 stone. I went to my doctor again. Inatingin ko. Sabi niya, alam mo, since it's bothering you so much, although alam kong wala yan, sabi niya gano'n, magpamamo ka na. Then nagpamamo ko. Wala, negative.
So, nakahinga ka?
Wala, talagang relief. Di ba? Parang, wow, thank God. Tapos sabi niya, kinulit ko pa rin, wala, pero meron ako nararamdaman. You know, nobody knows our bodies the way
More
we
than,
do.
of course.
Di ba? Kahit asawa mo na, they don't know your body the way you know it. So, ang sabi ko sa kanya, is there any other way to check? Sabi niya, sonogram. Sonogram daw is parang yung ultra. Di ba? Yung may gel, ganyan and everything. May TV, yung screen. So, ginawa nila yon. Kitang-kita. As in, andun, a black lump.
Okay. Tapos, they decided to operate?
No, they referred me to a breast doctor. So, I went to the breast doctor. Ito, still there in that hospital. So, check nilang ganyan. Sabi niya, it's nothing to worry about. When you have 3 days free, sabi niya, alam ko, artista ka, busy ka, ganyan. So, kung meron kang mga 3 days na libre, pumasok ka lang dito, we'll make a small incision, tanggalin ko, we'll stitch it, you'll be fine.
Tapos ginawa? Hindi.
So my mom, all this time, talagang lumalala na yung mami ko. I was panicking na. Sabi ko, Mami, the doctors here can't decide what's really wrong with you. One day, they're saying it's this, the next... Sabi ko, Ma, can you just get out of the hospital, magpagaling ka ng konti, and then I'll take you to the States para sigurado. Kasi parang nawawala na ako ng tiwala at that point. Parang almost 2 months. In and out siya talaga of the hospital.
So finally, you went to the States?
Finally, we went. In West Virginia, I have an uncle who's a doctor. So nagpunta kami doon. Bundok yun, Jel. As in talagang, oh my goodness, in the middle of
Virginia,
nowhere.
yes.
So we went there. My mom got checked. Nothing wrong with her. Misdiagnosed siya dito.
So mali ang binibigyan ng
For
gamot?
1 month, ini-inject siya sa tiyan.
Mali pala.
Ng blood thinner.
So yung sa'yo,
By chance.
nagpunta ka na rin para masigurado na rin.
Sabi ko sa kanya, total, nandito na rin lang tayo. Nagkamali sila sa'yo. Oh my God, paano kung pati sa akin nagkamali? Dinala ko yung results.
So chinek ka,
Chinek.
at anong nangyari?
Sabi sa akin ng doctor, we don't take chances in America.
So,
Tinanggal. The following day, after the operation, they came back to me and they said, it's malignant. It's cancer.
oh my God. Anong ginawa mo? What was your reaction? How did you feel?
Shock. I mean, definitely.
They told you you have cancer.
Diba ang feeling mo, Jels, parang nagalit pa nga ako sa doktor. Parang feeling ko, parang, in my mind, so stupid. You don't know what you're saying. I went already to 2 doctors in the Philippines. They said it's nothing. Now you're gonna tell me I have cancer? I was mad. That was my initial. Kasi parang, I have a full life. You're gonna tell me all of a sudden that I could be dead? Diba?
Binigyan ka ba ng, let's say, meron ka bang biglang binigyan ka naman ng tani?
Ay,
ganyan?
yun na
bang
nga
ano?
ang sabi ko. Sabi ko sa kanila, okay, now I have cancer. Tell me how long. Kasi parang, di ba, you wanna get everything in order na.
Oo, kaagad.
Yun ang iniisip ko. I mean, if I'm gonna die, how many months, years, whatever do I have left? Ang sagot mo naman sa akin, we don't know till you've had your second surgery. Itong nandito.
Yan, dyan.
So sabi ko, wait a minute. First you're telling me I have cancer, and then now you can't even tell me what I want to know, what I need to know
right
for my
away.
peace of mind. Diba? No daw. So I had to wait. That's the longest week of my whole life. I had to have the second surgery, tapos nung natanggal na yung mga lymph nodes, chinek na nila and everything. When they told me that it was all negative, sabi nila sa akin, you're okay. You're in stage 1. So long as you go through the treatments, you're gonna be fine.
So this whole time, you were with your mom.
Yes.
Saan mo nakuha yung strength mo at this point in time? Because this is the most trying time of your life. I mean, I've known you for a long time, but feeling ko parang this would be one of the most trying times in your life.
Chels, it's so funny. I know that people probably know me as matapang, mataray, and all that, When you're faced with something like this, it's like you harness all your strength and you just focus it on that. And for me, talagang God. Kasi when you're faced with death, you know that there's no one that can make you feel better. There's no one that can heal you except Him up there. Talagang, it's so hard to describe, but it's your faith. It's pure faith. 100%. Siya lang talaga nagbigay sa akin ng lakas. It's the only one.
Was this the time na parang, okay, I have nowhere else to go but Him?
At the end of our lives, Jelly, I don't care who you are. I don't care what you think of even if you're an atheist. If you're faced with death, talagang you have nowhere to turn but
You
God.
never resented the fact na I'm so close to you, bakit ako ba?
Never.
You never asked Him, why me?
No. Because I knew there was a purpose. I knew it. From the very beginning, I had the feeling that, you know what? It's me. Akong pinili niya because I know I'm in a position to help others, to inform others. And you know what? If that's not His purpose, if His purpose is for me to really die na, then who am I to question?
So, if you had this, ano naisip mo? What went through your mind? You have a daughter
That's what
and you have a husband.
You know, I felt just talagang, God, if you really want to take me na, please let it be at a time when my daughter is ready. You know? Kasi, you know, our husbands, they will always have the strength for us. But my 6-year-old child, what really broke my heart is she needs a mom. God, you know, whatever it is, whatever your plan is, what about my baby? Diba? Yun lang ang kini-question ko talaga kay Lord. I never questioned the fact that bakit ako or why this disease or is it really my time na or none of that. The only thing I felt was sadness for Alexi. Yun lang talaga. And that's where I eventually, when I was going through my treatments, everything, doon ko kinuha yung strength ko to fight for her.
Maritoni will share with us some more of her stories when SiS returns.
We are sisters. We are sisters. We are sisters.
Okay, we're back. We're still with Maritoni. Ton, syempre, we all know that, you know, cancer, you have to go through chemotherapy. Maraming beses hindi na pag-uusapan yung process na nangyayari sa chemotherapy. Marami nagsasabi, mahirap, nakakapanghina, masakit. Ano ba talaga yun? I mean, you went through it. What happened? What were the changes?
Okay, first I have to explain to you, chemotherapy is a precautionary thing for cancer. Kasi ang cancer para siyang root ng puno. Kung saan nag-umpisa yon, hindi lang siya doon magsistay. Para siyang root, nag-grow siya. And it expands throughout your whole body. And it travels through your blood system. So you need chemotherapy. Para siyang, it acts like a Pac-Man.
Oo.
Pag
Kain-kain
in-inject
niya lahat
yan,
yan,
papasok yan sa katawan mo through your veins, hahanapin niya lahat ng cancer cells at kakainin niya. Ang problema doon, hindi lang cancer cells ang kinakain niya. All your healthy cells na fast-producing also. Like yung mga kuko natin. Di ba kasi mabilis sumaba ang kuko? So your cells there are regenerating all the
So,
time.
ganito, habang hindi tumutubong hair, actually it falls.
Yeah.
So, nangyayari sa'yo to. I mean,
Yes.
let's face it, beautiful si Maritoni. You've always had long hair, beautiful
Friend
hair.
talaga kita.
Oo nga. Siyempre, nakita mo, ibang-iba itsura mo. I mean, how did you feel? I mean, you know, we women can be very vain. And then suddenly, I'm going through all this. You know, may taning na nga buhay mo, tapos ganito pa itsura mo. Hindi ba? Ano nasa isip mo ng mga oras na yon?
Jels, you know, all that just doesn't matter. It doesn't. You know, vanity is gone. You don't think of any of that. Ang iisipin mo na lang, Lord, I want to live. That's the only thing you think of. I couldn't care less whether I would go bald forever.
Oo.
I couldn't care less if my hair never grew back. So long as I'm alive.
What did your daughter say when she's going through all this pain?
She would sit at the end of the bed and she would, Mommy, please don't die.
How about Alex?
Alex was very strong. I think he knew that he needed to not show emotion, you know, para lumakas ang loob ko to fight, you know, and he'd not baby me, he won't baby me,
Para,
kaya mo yan. Alika, stand up. Go, ganun. Kahit hirap na hirap ako. He really, he would force me. He would be the one to push me. Kasi kung ganun din siya, ganun si Alexi, wala na talagang, di ba? It's so easy to fall into the trap of just giving up. Kasi it's so hard.
so, after the chemo, after they said, Ton, you're gonna be fine.
Radiation pa! After chemo,
Ano,
may
what's
radiation.
radiation?
Radiation naman is yung for the tumor site itself. Laser yan. A lot of people who don't need to go through chemo go through radiation. It's a walk in the park daw compared to chemo. Kasi chemo talaga is like walking through fire. Para kang nilagyan ng poison sa katawan na sabi ko nga dun sa doctor, this is supposed to make me feel better. Why am I so sick? Mas mahina pa ako nung nagkikimo ko kaysa nung hindi pa ako nagkikimo.
Diyos ko, ano ba yan? Talagang you go through a lot, You go through, parang I cannot even imagine.
I hope you never have to.
Not even on your worst enemy, no?
No, not even.
So, here, then the doctor says, okay, for now you're cleared. But there is a possibility. Maaari ka pa rin magkaroon ng, what do you call it? Recurrence. Pinaghahandaan mo ba ito? At paano mo
I refuse to believe that I will ever have a recurrence again. I believe so much in God. I believe that He healed me for a purpose. And I claim it. Na it will never happen again.
So now that you have your second life, what do you plan to do?
Shelly, it's so hard, after everything has turned upside down. When you're faced with death, everything changes. Things that mattered before don't matter anymore. Things, yung mga bagay na kala natin importante, hindi pala. So I don't know, I'm still gathering my perspective. I'm still praying hard about what I should do with the rest of my life. Right now, I'm just taking it a day at a time. I'm just so grateful. Nagpapasalamat talaga ako na I'm still here. That nakakakita pa ako ng morning. Sa gabi, nakakatulog pa ako. Every day, nahahalikan ko pa yung anak ko. Diba? Yun lang, I'm so happy na andito ako ngayon. I'm able to share my experience with everybody. For me, that's such a privilege, I want to encourage people. Kaya nga, sabi ko sa iyo, 3 months ako nagbakasyon bago ako umuwi dito. Kasi gusto kong pakita sa tao na, alam nyo, hindi madali ang cancer. I'm not going to pretend that it's easy. And I hope that just because they see the way I look now, they don't think na, bakit ganyan ang itsura niya? Kung, di ba, I want to look good, to encourage them that, hey, you know what? Cancer doesn't necessarily mean the end.
The end of it and be all na, finish na.
Yeah. Kasi a lot of the times, di ba, parang ang feeling ng tao, ito na yun cancer, patay ka na. No. Look at me and know that I have not gone through something easy. But know that you can have the victory. You can come out of it.
For someone who suspects na parang I have a love or something, what would you tell them?
Please don't be scared. Because I know a lot of women, they just hindi nila pinapansin kasi may fear.
Let me just be clear on this, I think in Asia, the Philippines is the leading.
Yes.
Number 1 po tayo sa breast cancer for women. And
It's
even
one-
men can have breast
Definitely.
cancer. So, ang problema lang kasi sa atin, yung awareness, marami po
Yes.
sa atin ang hindi aware sa mga...
Or natatakot.
Or natatakot.
Wag niyo
What
pong,
would you tell them?
Yeah, wag niyo pong hintayin. I mean, in cancer, there is no cure. But the earlier you detect it, the more your chances are for treating it. You can, matitreat lang po yan kung maagapan yung maagapan. Alam mo, kung 2 years ago kung pinacheck to at pinatingin, hindi na ako magkikimo.
No, hindi mo
Because
napadadaan.
lumaki na eh. Lumaki na siya eh. Para po yung sira sa ipin. Pag may sira kayo, kahit maliit, papastahan nyo na kagad.
No, hindi ba?
Diba? Para hindi lumala. Huwag nyong hintayin na magka-root canal pa kayo. It's the same with breast cancer, Jess. If you catch it early enough, you don't have anything to worry about. Kaya araw-arawin ninyo yan. Ako talaga ngayon, araw-araw, lahat ng kaibigan ko, hey, check yourself, ha? Kahit I don't care if it sounds, like
Weird.
woman to woman. Di ba? Parang, uy, Jels, ha? Check every day mo yan. Kasi it's something that I don't want to see people go through. It's so hard. You don't want. And if you have family history, it's worse. Your chances are 50% worse. So alamin nyo, tanungin nyo yung lola nyo, Lola, nagkaroon ba kayo ng cancer? Meron ba tayo sa pamilya niyan? Or, kasi kung meron, mas malaki ang posibilidad na magkakaroon din
ka.
kayo.
Well, we've known each other for a while.
I know.
Tell me now, what are your dreams? Ano pa ba, may goals ka? What do you want to achieve? I mean, you've got a new life. You've got a new perspective on things. So, what else do you want to do? What are your dreams?
Just now, life is so simple for me. Like I said, I just want to be alive. I want to breathe every day. I want to see my daughter grow up. I have no more. I've died to all my own ambitions. Of course, I want, my only purpose now is to really, if I can share what I've gone through, then that's enough for me. It's really enough for me. I just want to be a help to people who are going through the same thing that I went through. I want to tell them that, hey, you know what? Faith is what got me through this. Believe in yourself that you can do it. And lastly, know that there are people who need you. You have to focus on somebody na mahal mo. And you have a reason to live. And things that cost money or whatever, they're not everything. They're nothing because they can't give you your life. They can't.
If I were Alexi, and you know that there is a possibility for her when she grows up
Yes.
to get the same cancer or whatever that you went through, no? What would you tell her? What would you tell her?
I would tell her that first, I'm so sorry. Because it's probably because of me that she will get it. Because once your parent has it, the chances for you to get it is higher. Although with me, talagang walang
Wala
cancer
kayong-
sa family ko. But it's just higher. I guess just I would tell her, anak, whatever it is, love life, live every day to the fullest. I'm not God, so I cannot say until when you're gonna live. But I want you never to take one single breath for granted. And I really pray to God that it never happens to you. That's all I can do. What else can I say? But if it does, be strong and fight it.
It's the only way to go.
That's the only way. It's the only way.
On a lighter note, would you want to go back to work?
Yes, of course. Of course, I want to go back to work.
Oo, di ba?
Diba? I mean, work is what keeps us going.
Para...
Tapos na, di ba? I
Oo.
mean, I will never forget. I will never...
You should never.
No,
You should never.
Never. That's another thing, I hope that people who go through or have gone through what I've been through, they put in their hearts and in their minds that just because it's over for them, just because the episode of that part of their life is tapos na, don't forget it. Share it. That's why I'm here. I tell the world now, hey, you know what? I'm a breast cancer survivor.
I survived
I survived it. Diba? Kasi so many people, they're just quiet about it after. When I came out on TV the first time, I'm walking in the street and people come up to me, oh, you know what? I'm also a survivor. You know the way I feel? Parang, then where are you? Why aren't you telling people? Don't
Yan ang
be
kulang
ashamed.
hindi ba? We should be more aware. So, kayo po mga nanonood, naku, huwag natin i-take for granted. Alagaan po natin ang mga sarili natin, lalo na yung mga mommies, may mga anak tayo na syempre gusto natin makita lumaki at maaruga. Ang tanging paraan lang, huwag tayo matakot. Let's always check ourselves. Let's be very honest and, come out. Huwag tayo matakot.
Yes.
Dapat hindi tayo matakot sa doktor. Kung takot sa doktor lang ang problema natin, naku, walang-wala yan. Kesa naman, maging mas malala pa ang magiging problema. You know what, Ton? It is really a joy talking to you today.
Thank you,
I
Jess.
enjoyed myself. I learned a lot.
Yeah, I hope So I hope that's my purpose.
Magbabalik pa po ang sis.
Sisters. Sisters.
Kung natapos po kayo sa kwento ni Maritoni kanina, ito pong next guest natin has a different story to tell. This is a little close to home dahil nanay din po ako. Please welcome on SiS, Marissa Raquiza. Hello, good morning. Good morning. This is probably still a hard time for you, but how have you been?
It has been very difficult. Like sometimes you just be walking, you'd be okay, and then the next you just feel that your tears are falling. Like you just see someone, it's the hair or the eyes, you'd
Something
recall.
that resembles her.
Precisely.
How is she as a daughter?
She was a daughter that anyone would ever love to have.
Close kayo.
Definitely.
Did she
Very-
tell you her secrets?
She did. It was just, she wasn't just a daughter to me. She was more of as a friend to me too. So it worked both ways.
What did you like doing together?
Well, whenever she'd fix me up, like she'd just comb my hair, fix me up, and choose the clothes that I'd wear. So that's how she was. And
Then she shopping kayo together.
yeah, because she would say, "I don't like your dress." Let her change, and I'd say, "No, this is what would be nice for you."
Would you say that she was kind of spoiled because she's the only girl, no? She's your
No,
only
on the
daughter.
contrary, she wasn't.
She wasn't spoiled. She is, how many kids do you have?
I have 4 kids.
4 kids and she's the youngest.
She's the second.
She's the second. How did your other children feel when they first heard of the accident?
Of course, there would always be the denial. No, it's not true, or more on, it wasn't really as bad as it was.
Was she close to her brothers?
She was, because she was very thoughtful. It's like she'd she'd get out of her way to bring you something you didn't even know that she knew that you liked. So that's what they'll always miss about her.
Let's look back a little. On the day that you were told that she was in an accident,
Okay.
did you know that she was out?
No, I knew she was in school. So I just received this call from a friend whom she was supposed to be with. And then she told me, "Tita, did you know that Ishi met an accident?" What? Where? Are you kidding? Urdaneta. So all along, I thought it was in Urdaneta village, Makati, because they were in Dasmariñas for San Agustin. So when she told me in Pangasinan, "No, tell me it's not true." Then I tried to compose myself. And then when it began to sink in, I just almost collapsed because I couldn't believe it. What am I gonna do now? Like, how is she? Where, or whatever. So
Yeah, and when did you first see her? Because she was in Urdaneta, Pangasinan, and I was speaking to Mayor Marquez the other day, and yun nga sinabi nga niya na dun sa Pangasinan, they weren't allowed to fly her out because she needed, of course, the waiver from the parents. When did you first see her?
I saw her, it was about, when we arrived at Pangasinan, that was already 1 a.m. the next day. So we were really shocked because we didn't know what to do. Like, the news would say that they would be flown together here, so we really didn't know. There was no communication. So when we arrived there, that was the only time we found out that she wasn't stable enough to be flown, which was precisely the reason why they were not flown together.
Everybody knows that Vandolph is her boyfriend, and they were together during the accident. How were you close to Vandolph? Was Vandolph close to the family, to the brothers?
No, because I just met him once, and it was perhaps more on, they'd been schoolmates since they were kindergarten. So it wasn't really something like they just met each other or something. So what I noticed was that ever since he was in kinder, he would always give her already chocolates. But we took it lightly because we didn't think it was anything really that serious. And as they grew up, it was something like They weren't close because they would always be bickering, so they would always fight, little arguments.
girl-boy
Yeah,
fights.
so nothing. It was really nothing. And then she would tell me that he was beginning to like her, court her, or more seriously. But that was it. It wasn't really as serious as we thought it was.
Of course, being a mother, no, even if, syempre, there are friends na nagiging close sa inyo, when something like this happens, initial reaction, ano, di ba parang the initial reaction, of course, hindi nyo may iwasan yung magalit ng konti, o magtampo, parang, why?
Yeah, okay. So for me, it's not really yung magalit because if I'm going to put that in my head, it's gonna make things worse. Because I want to be level-headed, like, what am I supposed to do with the situation? The first instinct that came, I want my daughter to be better. I'm not gonna put anger ahead and not think wisely in order to make proper decisions for her. So the first thing I said, I just want to make her better, nothing else. And then all the rest would follow.
In most of the interviews, it's you that we see. We don't see her dad. Kumusta naman po yung relationship ni Ishi sa daddy niya?
But we're okay. But you see, the father is hypertensive. He had always been while she was at the hospital. It was always 230 over 130. That was his BP. So it's not really that easy for anyone just to be talking to him. So that's why I had to make a
Be the one.
front. Yeah.
Be the strong one.
Even if deep inside I'm
Probably
weaker
breaking.
than anyone else could ever imagine.
This is going to be your first Christmas without her. Are you going to change any of your plans? Are you going to not celebrate Christmas the way you used to? Para lang, just so hindi nyo ma-remember, hindi nyo maramdaman yung pain.
So for us, it's not just the Christmas, it's the everyday thing. It's like in the morning when you wake up, because I'd wake her up and I'd say, oh, it's time. It's not that way anymore. So it's the everyday. It's the everyday loss that you'd see. So it's practically our life, everyone's life has really changed.
Do you intend to preserve her room, keep it the way it is? So every time there'd always be this nice memory.
No, because actually our house is under renovation and she designed her own room and we intend to follow
that way.
The way she wanted.
It was also very clear that her coffin was not just something very plain. It was decorated with neon paint and you had pink balloons. That's
Yes,
that's not traditional for someone who you just lost, diba?
No, those balloons were given by her friends because she'd always tell her friends that her favorite colors would be white and pink, and she would even tell them that on her burial she'd like everyone to be in white. So I didn't know about the balloons. It was just her friend's idea. About the coffin, we didn't want it to be morbid. We wanted it to be more gaily. In fact, while at the coffin, I couldn't even come close to her. I couldn't even see her that way. So the only time I had the chance to see her was she was going to be buried. Before that, I couldn't come close. Whenever I'd be a bit close, I'd had to get away. I didn't want to see her that way. It's very difficult because never mind if she was sick, it wasn't that way.
What was your fondest memory of Ishi? Did you have a last talk before the accident happened? Did you have a last talk together?
No, we'd always have these small talks, so it wasn't really like a last talk or what. The small talks would always be how she was in school, and she'd always ask me how I had been that day too. So it's the everyday thing that she would do, and what was really...
It was like a routine that you're going to miss.
And the letter that I found 4 days after she was in the hospital, that really struck me most because there were some things that she said that she couldn't tell me in person. And I didn't realize how much I also meant to her just as she really meant to me. That's how it was.
Do you sometimes kasi we put off things that we need to tell people that we love? Did you think you put off something that maybe you weren't able to tell her?
I'd always tell her that I loved her, but I never got the chance to tell her how much I really did. I never really had that chance. It was always just love you, that's all.
I guess as a mom, just saying like that will never be enough.
Never.
More touching stories from Marissa Raquiza sa pagbabalik po ng SiS.
We are SiS.